This is the all-new Volvo V60 wagon. It's a luxury model from Europe, but it's not from Germany. And over here is the Volvo S60 sedan. Now, some brands would have the same name for their car, but different body styles. Not Volvo, they do things a little bit differently. So you've got S60 sedan and V60 wagon. We're going to be taking a deeper look at the V60 wagon. You obviously wanted to know about the wagon because you've clicked the V60 review. So let's take a closer look. But before we do, make sure you hit subscribe on our YouTube channel, hit us up in the comments section, hit like if you do like this video, and also head to the CarsGuide site for the full detailed review on either of these cars. Come on, admit it. Volvo wagons are sexy. You can't tell me they're not. Well, actually, you can tell me they're not. Let me know in the comments section below. But this particular V60 wagon has this lovely color called birch, and I think it's absolutely gorgeous. And every V60 comes with LED headlights and LED tail lamps, and also beautiful big alloy wheels. In this case, they're 19s. Now, it is a Volvo station wagon, so it has to have some sort of boxiness at the back, and the V60 certainly does. In fact, it looks quite similar to the XC60 SUV based on those tail lights. And obviously, you're watching this video because you get wagons, and I love you for that. So let's take a look at just how practical this one is. So every V60 gets the electric opening tailgate, and behind there's 529 litres of cargo space, which is huge, easily enough, as you can see, for a pram and some luggage. The space in the back seat of the V60 is family friendly. As you'd expect, it's a Volvo family wagon. This seat is set in my driving position. I'm 6 feet tall and I've got enough knee room, good toe room, and even decent headroom with this big panoramic roof. And it's always nice to have something to look up to. And also the ventilation back here is something that's worthy of note because there are vents down here and there's also vents in the pillars. So you get face height and leg height if you need warm legs. There's also seat heating in this spec, which is amazing for the back seat, that is. And you know, if you go to the snow a lot, that's a real advantage for this sort of car. And for storage, there's a nice covered armrest in here with a nice, that's actually leather, that's really nice. And then there's cup holders that pop out like that, which is also pretty cool. There's a ski port for your skis, there's mesh mat pockets, and there are bottle holders in each of the doors. Not bad, Volvo, not bad. If you've looked at or sat in a Volvo in the recent era, then it's going to feel very familiar to you in the V60 because they haven't strayed too far from their formula. And that's a good thing because it looks and feels really premium in here. Where other brands tend to go for sportiness or technology design, the Volvo brand has gone for a luxury feel and it just works. They've got this 9-inch tablet media screen which controls everything in the car, and that's familiar from other models in the range, but also the materials that they use are beautiful. You've got a lovely leather steering wheel, nice materials up on the dash, you've got wood trim in this particular car, and even a nice wood sliding cover for the cup holders because yes, it's a Volvo, so it has to be practical. So you've got cup holders here, you've got a hidden storage compartment here, you've got bottle holders in the doors, and it looks and feels really nice in here. So this screen, let's talk about it because some people love it and others find it a little bit hard to get used to. So you do have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and you have to get used to the fact that it's like a tablet. You've just got to swipe and you've got to touch where you need to go. So that can be easy to learn if you're technologically minded, but if you do find tablets a little bit difficult, then you might find this one, well, maybe annoying at times. I do a little bit as well because you've got to use these touch points for the climate control as well. Now, I like buttons and knobs for climate control, and I'm not alone in that regard. And using these buttons on the screen, you know, if you're in a hurry and you just want to cool the car down quickly, that can be a little bit annoying. But otherwise, I find the usability of the screen really quite good. Our car is the T5 Inscription, which is the second model up the range, and I'll tell you all about the pricing in a sec. But first I want to talk about drive impressions, and starting with the engine. Under the bonnet is a 2-litre turbocharged 4-cylinder petrol engine with the same outputs as some hot hatches. I'm talking 187 kilowatts of power and 350 newton meters of torque. Now that all might sound like gobbledygook to you, but what you need to know is that there's plenty of grunt here. It'll do 0 to 100 in about 6.5 seconds, which is quick. Although that's not what a lot of Volvo drivers will be aiming for. All you need to know is that it's brisk enough and it has good enough response. And if you want more power, there are more powerful versions. There's a T5R design with extra power and torque, and then there's a plug-in hybrid T8 model, which has heaps of power and torque. And that might matter to you or it might not, but the T5 that we're in here, well, it's better than adequate. Now, it has an 8-speed automatic and all-wheel drive, but not all-wheel drive in the rugged sense, like the off-roady sense. It's more about security through corners. And let me tell you, through a set of slippery, twisty bends that I went through the other day, this car hung on brilliantly. The transmission is smart and pretty much gets it right every time. It's got plenty of grip and it handles itself very nicely. Sure, it isn't as exciting or as involving to drive as some of the other European mid-size luxury cars out there, but it's aiming for a different buyer, and so I respect the way that they've gone about it in this car. It's comfortable and composed, just maybe not a weapon when it comes to going through the bends. The steering doesn't have as much feel as some of the other cars out there, but it's accurate and light and easy to use, and the ride is really quite composed, very comfortable considering it's on 19-inch wheels. My overall drive impression in the V60 is that it's a real sweet car to drive. It isn't necessarily overly exciting, but geez, it does the luxury feel really well. It's impressive. Now, let's talk about pricing. The entry-level version is the T5 Momentum, which costs $56,990. Then there's this, the T5 Inscription grade, which costs $6,000 more. The T5R design adds sporty bits and a little extra power, and it costs just under $67,000. And the flagship model is the T8R design, which introduces a clever plug-in hybrid system that has huge power but also low fuel use. It's a fair chunk more expensive though. Head to the CarsGuide site for all the pricing, spec and safety details. So the new Volvo V60 wagon, it's a very impressive car, really likeable and definitely fits the bill for a family wagon with luxury elements to it. And it's for those who like to think outside the box of the regular 3 German brands that you might choose. And also think inside the box, because it is a Volvo wagon, so it's still boxy and very practical, but also it's super luxurious. Tell us what you think in the comments section below. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and also hit the bell notification icon so you can stay up to date with all our latest videos.